One of the subjects that we're talking often about every single week is recognition of prior learning. Most people have heard of this, and many people think that they should be subject to it. But there are some very firm rules around what constitutes a successful recognition of prior learning claim. We wanted to just elaborate some of those things for you today. Now, there are three streams that evidence can come from that would constitute RPL. The first stream is called credit transfer. Now, this exists when you have done the exact same unit, usually in a different qualification, or perhaps even as a standalone unit. The code on that unit will be exactly the same as the code on the qualification you're applying for. So we can take a unit which is about presenting in the workplace. This exists in training and assessment quals. It exists in the work health and safety quals. It exists in many different qualifications. You do not need to redo that unit if it's in the qualification you're applying for and you've done that previously. All you would need to do is provide a copy of the transcript you received showing that unit code. The second is where you have done a superior unit. You may well have done a diploma in something which contained a unit from, or a subject, I should say, from a certificate for. Now, if that superior unit contains the evidentiary requirements of the certificate for qualification, then you would be right in applying for RPL. And this we would be able to simply see by mapping those two units. The third is what used to be called recognition of current competency. It's where you have done learning, usually on the job, usually informally, but you have the required skill and knowledge to meet the requirements. Now, I would point out to you here that in the training and assessment qualification, this is only appropriate if you've been learning informally in VET. If you've been teaching in somebody's shop just on, or in some operation on training which has been formulated in-house, then that won't count for RPL. Now, it's very easy for somebody to actually do a self-check to see whether they have a chance of RPL. And so all you need to do to start with is go on to the National Vet Register. Now, this National Vet Register is called training.gov.au. And when you go onto training.gov.au, you'll see here you have two bars. So this is clicked on nationally recognised training. Let's just put in the Work Health and Safety Certificate for. As we scroll down, you'll see we come to the core units. Now those core, let's take the first one, which is assist with workplace compliance. We click on that, and what you can tell for yourself is exactly what it is you're going to need to prove. The first step for you would be to go down here to the performance evidence, and you say to yourself, what could I offer that would prove that, absolutely prove that? And if you feel that, yes, I would have that, then the next step would be appropriate for you. Now, it could also be that you want to have a look because you're interested in training and assessment. You simply put the code there, click on that, and you'll go down to the core units and you'll go down to the elective units. We just click on the first core unit, assess competence, and you'll see once again here the things that you will ultimately be required to prove. But by going down to the performance evidence to start with, you'll be able to see whether or not you can provide evidence that you have performed that. What you tell us is of no value. It's what you can prove with hard evidence. So that's how we use the National Vet Register to see what it is we have to prove. Now, if it be that you think you have a fair chance to do that, then what you should do is you go to hba.edu.au, which is, of course, our website. And on our website, we look here and we see that, okay, I want to apply, say, for RPL on training and assessment. I click here. The first one is the full course. We click on that. And now if I scroll down, see, I'm going to have to scroll down to the bottom here, and I will see here, RPL. I click on that, and if I click on this button here, it will download the RPL application form to my desktop. And that will show me element by element exactly what it is I have to prove. Now, know that HBA has an RPL kit for every single qualification we offer. So if you take those tiny steps, it might just save you doing a whole lot of work which is going to go nowhere, or it might save you having to do a qualification or a unit from a qualification that you don't need to do. Thank you.